Peace to all of the kings and queens that's out there. It's your brother, the 13th letter to the cipher, coming to you once again, almost done. One more day, Black History Month. How are you all doing? That is absolutely outstanding. And I'm glad that you all have been sticking around and have been enduring this month of greatness that we have all been experiencing with those things that we have been accomplishing daily during this month. Yeah, I am excited, very excited. One more day, and I want to thank everyone who has continued to battle through this month and who has supported me and encouraged me to continue to bring some good news to all Black people across America. So what it is today, you all, it's Wednesday night and somewhere near prime time, and it's just been a busy day, not including researching and dealing with life's madness. I tell you, it's a daily habit. Got to deal with it, you know. Oprah Winfrey lost, what, 58 million? Who cares, right? She hasn't done anything for us whatsoever. So maybe she can lose another 58 million. Maybe she'll start doing something for Black folk. Maybe not. However, did you know that she had tried to purchase some big mansion out there in the Caribbean on a Black island in a predominantly, not predominantly, but all white rich folks? And do you know that Oprah couldn't move there? They didn't want her there. With all her money, she still could not move next to white folks on a Black island. What that tell you? What does that tell you? I mean, this takes it all back to where it all started at a couple of days ago with this field school trip. And yeah, I had to bug out about it one day. And in fact, one viewer even said, wow, you used a lot of profanity that day. Yes, I did, because I was truly pissed off. I was truly pissed off to see something like that and nobody saying nothing about it, you know. Not nobody that I know, sadly. Now, I know some brothers that I do know of, but I wasn't able to reach out and like, hey, man, come over here and talk to me about this, you know. But it was like they at work, or I didn't hear about that, or like nothing. And it saddens me because the maladjustment issue that I've been bringing across the last few days is very true. Maladjusted, and you are. If you're not of a conscious mind, you are indeed maladjusted. I want to send the shots out to all of those out there who has contributed to the upliftment of Black people. And I want to send the shots out to my dear brother, Dr. Khalid Muhammad. Peace, love, truth, freedom, and justice. Yes, indeed. Some people say love first. Okay. Anyhow, I had got a phone call from a relative, and they are of Christian-minded orient. Another story, but that's family, right? That's family, and they did enjoy that which I spoke about, maladjustment, and asked me to do another piece with that, explaining it more in detail to a more Christian-oriented audience, I guess. But It don't matter because it's for all, and just can't say. For the record, I want to correct him in regards to you just can't say the Christian family because we're all family here, and it doesn't make a difference regardless to what school of thought you come from, whether you are maladjusted or adjusted. We do have something in common, and that is we are all oppressed here, and we're all black here. Okay, that within itself is enough commonality. Even when our people, our ancestors came, some of them came over from a Kubalan on the Middle Passage, and they were from different tribes. They didn't know how to speak the same language, and sometimes they did know who the other tribe member was because they were at war with one another at one point. But the main thing is when they got down in the holds of those slave ships, okay, all of that went out the window. And this is our current situation. This is our current situation. And yes, it is a state of emergency. It is absolutely a state of emergency. And it is real as fucking can get. Okay? And in order for you to understand this state of emergency, you have to remove all of this government, remove the government from your head, that person that's riding you in your head, that is leading you to continuously to be maladjusted. You must remove that type of rider from your brain. You have to be willing to throw all of that away and allow new to come in that you may develop, because obviously many of us still don't know who we are today. And this is why we allow that which occurred in these schools take place. This is why we allow this to occur to us in everyday life, in regards to other nations of peoples, in regards to the Koreans, the Chinese, the Arabs, the Persians, the so-called India, people from over there in India. Okay? From all sides, and you don't know who you are. Well, if asked what is your favorite color, and if your favorite color is black, well, once again, you've been maladjusted because black isn't a color. Black is the essence of all colors. If there was no blackness, you would have nothing. Think of it as if with the sun, even the sun comes out of what? The black hole. The black hole is more powerful than the sun. You think about that. You don't know who you are. So when you don't know who you are, anybody can make you feel that you are inferior or nothing. And when that occurs, you act out that nothing. And that is seen in how we act, react, and interact with one another every day. And it bothers me every day that Black people still don't get this. And if you are a Black man or woman in America and you got a white Jesus on your wall, you need to take it down and give yourself some self-respect. By all means, seeing that I was asked to do something, another joint in regards to maladjustment to my so-called Christian family, but I can't call it Christian family because it's for everybody. So I just want him to know that. Okay. And your former slave masters, they had a method, a psychology method, a sick psychology method that maladjusted you. Okay, and in that maladjustment, that former slave master in his evil way of thinking came up with a strategy, or was wondering about strategies of how to keep you depending upon him and not yourself. Did you get that? Did you get that? To be dependent upon him and not yourselves. We don't think too much of ourselves. We don't. And the images that they give you on television, on videos, on TV shows, with the exception of maybe one or two TV programs, but it's all no good for you. It's all leading to your further maladjustment in your thinking, because you don't know who you truly are. Therefore, you don't know what to expect from yourself. Maladjustment. When your history has been uprooted and you don't know the history of your ancestors or your forefathers and of their greatness, then you really don't know what you are capable of. So think about it. Just think about that. You don't know what you are capable of if everything that was about you, you don't know anything of. So when your former slave master cut your history off, cut your legacy off, he actually cut you off from the tree of life, from the tree of knowing anything except bad. Because obviously we don't know good, because we've been doing so much wrong to one another, even to the point of committing genetic annihilation among ourselves without the help of your adversary. Now that is truly being maladjusted. It is. Just think about that. Now, for my for the person who asked me to do this joint, in your son book, and yes, it is a son book once you understand that you have in your hand. Okay, because many don't even know that the second half of that book in which they're reading is Greek. But anyway, right? But in that son book, in the book of Genesis, it tells you that God made man in his image and in his likeness. Now, I believe that after this is the last time that I really want to explain this, but I will, since it was requested, in regards to maladjustment, and I'm leading you straight to your book, okay? Even in that book, when it says that God created you in his own image and in his own likeness, right? That's what it says, right? So when I see you, I should see God. When I'm looking at you, I'm looking at what? God. Now, ironically, Paul in the New Testament, that Greek section, states that he actually poses a question to you, to those who believe of that son book. And he asks a very serious question. Because if you don't believe me when I tell you that you are God, maybe you believe this white dude, okay? Seeing that you don't feel too much of value, that you don't have too much of value to yourself, and that a black man can't teach you anything. I mean, seeing that most of us consider these great schools or universities are are fantastic without having any history of yourself in it. But anyway, even Paul posed a question to you. He asked you, how can you love a God that you've never seen, but hate your brother whom you see every day? Now, that was a real question for you, because it's obviously that you don't know who you are. That's because you're acting a fool right now. Okay? Yeah, you're acting a fool right now. You're killing yourself. You're killing yourself. You're walking around here like zombies 24/7 a day. And the white man is not doing that. You are doing that. The white man is not selling it to you. You're selling it to ourselves. You are selling it to yourself and to ourselves. So I didn't miss any words or misinterpret what I was saying. I told the truth. And you don't know who you are. That's why you being that way. But I promise you that if you get an adjustment, you can see your greatness. And you will manifest God. So that when I see you, or when you see me, you will see God. When I disrespect you, I'll be disrespecting God. And when I serve you, or when you serve me, we will be serving God. Even Jesus said that you was his brother. Okay? Because Jesus too was made in the image and in the likeness of God, right? Even Jesus said that you was his brother, because when asked upon how do we pray, he said, you pray in this manner, our Father. He didn't say his Father, your Father. He said, our Father. So Jesus is saying that you are his brother. Jesus didn't tell you to worship him. He asked you, who do you say I am? Maladjusted. Even in the book of Psalms, David even says that ye are children, you are gods. Ye are gods, children of the Most High. And if you continue to read that Son book, if you happen to read it upside down and reverse some stories and some characters, well, I tell you, you will be going in the right direction. So once again, I am a God. You are God. And like I said, when I serve you, I serve God. When you serve me, you serve God. When I do right by you, I do right by God. It's just that simple. God created you to be a reflection of him or herself. And yes, I did say herself. And if you don't think that way, if you don't understand that serving your brother is serving God, then you most surely do have a maladjustment. But in this maladjustment, you have some great qualities. And in that quality, you have the most powerful asset that the creator himself or herself has. And that is will. The will to manifest. Because if the creator, him or herself, did not have the power to will, they would be powerless. Did you get that? If your will is broken, you're powerless. If your spirit is broken, you're powerless. If your mind has been maladjusted, you're powerless. If you heap upon one another like savages, you are powerless. And if you continue to read that book without being adjusted, you are powerless. Think about that. When when God created man, according to your son book, the first thing that he gave man was power. And when your slave master, what was the first thing he took from you? He took your power away. God gave you power. Slave master took your power away. Second thing God gave you was dominion. And what did slave master do? After he took your power, he had dominion over you. And still does to this very same single day, excuse me. He has ruled us ever since because we have become, as a whole, maladjustment. Whatever rules your ruler has laid down, these rules are pleasing to him, not pleasing to God. Did you get that? Did you get that? They're pleasing to him, not pleasing to God. And we have to remember who God is. I just told you that. So then, as you follow these rules that are laid down by your ruler, and you've been consistently following them day by day, week by year, week by week, year by year, decade by decade. So it seems to me, and I'm just speaking about the people that are unconscious. Excuse me. Yeah. So it seems to me that the people who are not conscious, the people who are not conscious, the people who believe that they are no God, the people who say that someone else is God. I want to tell you something. And you think that your slave master is God. I think and say that you need a new slave master. That's right. For those of you who are unconscious, I say that you need a new slave master. Yes, let your divinity, your divine essence become your slave master. How about that? When you let your divinity or your divine essence become your slave master, you will understand that there is no salvation between you and your creator. There is no middleman. There is no middleman. And as you continue to study the master teachers, and as you continue to study your originality, meaning know thyself, you will find that out. You will find that you are the God. And as I just specified to you in this message, that you are God. And I've proven to you that you are God. And hopefully this is a conversation that I never have to speak about again on a video. Because we could really be talking about something more pertinent, but this is pertinent because many of us are maladjusted. Know thyself is the mathematics for today. Know thyself is the mathematics for today. We got one more day. One more day. And one more thing I was thinking about. What was that? Oh, I was thinking about these pastors out here. For those of you who have been fooled already, who has been had by the Jesus people already, there's many former pastors out here who are now jumping on the bandwagon of my eye. My aunt was here way before Jesus was, but they swore to you that Jesus was the answer and took all your Jesus money. And now they want you to follow them and give you more of their money in regards to my aunt. Now, I will say this. My aunt is the real deal, but don't get caught up in that Majunetta and that that Medunetta and other misconceptions that has been twisted and contorted by the Jewish Egyptology system. If you want to know about Egyptology and about the Nile Valley and what your people, what your ancestors were like, well, let me just give you a few people to go see. One and foremost, it will have to be Dr. Ben Johachanan. Number two would have to be Dr. John Henry Clark. Number three would have to be Ivan Van Sertima. That's a couple of years right there for you. One book. Oh, and Chancellor Williams, The Destruction of Black Civilization. That book alone, you can expound upon that book for at least a year or two and just expound upon it if you can go into history in detail. And in order to do that, you have to do more research so that you can become God-like, which is actually part of the Egyptian mystery system, for you to become God-like. And if you could not be God-like or think that you are a God, why did God create you in his image and in his likeness to be a reflection of him? So with that, I want to end on that note. And I hope you all got something out of it. We got one more day left, which is tomorrow. And we're working on a whole fresh month. And like I said, in that, I will still be here on this same back channel 4 times a week. Okay? So don't touch that dial. It's the 13th letter to the cipher. If you have liked anything that I've said, anything I've said made a light bulb go off over your head, please, by all means, press that subscribe button, press that like button. And I want to thank you. I want to seriously thank you for watching and hearing that which I really didn't want to say but I have to say because I'm the one who fucking speaking, okay? So, with that, have some respect for yourself. Stay away from the police. Don't drink and drive. Love yourself. Have some depth, self-dignity, and by all means, create an atmosphere of love for one another. Thank you all for watching 13th Letter to the Cipher. We'll see you all tomorrow. Peace. Man, button. What happened with the button? Oh.